In Section 4A of the Budget module, we will define important grant terms used in the instructions for completing the budget. What is a grant budget? It is a financial document usually written on a spreadsheet. A grant budget identifies your project costs. It tells the funder how the money will be spent. For example, the number of staff or supplies for a training activity. Funders vary in the percentage of the total cost they will contribute to a project. They also frequently want to know your other sources of funding. For Cycle 43, you may request up to $20,000 from SCDD for your project. Before we go into the details of preparing your budget, there are three important pieces of information that you will need to know: the allowable and non-allowable costs, whether your project serves a poverty or non-poverty area, and the matching funds. There are allowable and non-allowable costs to consider as you develop your budget. These are the costs that you can and cannot include in your budget. They are typically explained in the RFP by the funder. As a California state agency that receives federal funds, SCDD must follow both federal and state budgeting rules for allowable and non-allowable costs and reimbursement rates. Allowable costs include staff and/or consultants to carry out project activities, printing, rental space, and office supplies. You may also use funds to modify facilities to meet the fire marshal or safety requirements, pay for insurance coverage, and purchase or rent equipment with a value of less than $500. If your project includes travel, including mileage, you must use California state reimbursement rates. Directions for where you can find the California state rates can be found in the RFP. Non-allowable expenses include purchasing property, child care vouchers, food and beverages, motor vehicles, computers without prior approval from SCDD, equipment on a car or facility that cannot be removed after the project period, and travel outside of California. A common mistake made by applicants is to include food and beverages in their budgets. Neither of them are allowable costs. If you have any questions about the allowable or non-allowable costs, contact the SCDD contract analyst, Christy Allensworth. Her contact information is listed on the RFP. As part of your application, you are asked to identify whether your project will serve a poverty or non-poverty county as defined by the federal government. A poverty area is when 20% or more of the population lives below the poverty level. Exhibit A is a document provided with the RFP that lists all California counties by their poverty level. For example, in Alameda County, 12% of the population lives below the poverty level. Therefore, this county is considered a non-poverty area. In Merced County, 24% live below the poverty level. Therefore, the population is considered to be living in a poverty area. You will use the information about the poverty level in the county you will serve in two ways. First, to describe your target population in the project narrative, and second, in your budget to calculate the match for the total cost of the project. We will now discuss matching funds.